us before start for the introduction?
Yeah.
Something like that. So before, actually we are like 5. We are like 7.
All right.
7 in the club.
So let's just give them, let's say we give them like let's say 2 minutes or 3 minutes before we just start.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Let
So I'll
me
just move my
send
camera.
quick message in the group. Let me send quick message in the group. Okay. People are coming.
Hi everyone. So while we are waiting, I want to just play some waiting music to welcome everyone.
I think it is a good idea.
All right.
Hello, Jeffrey. Can you stop the music? Hello, Jeffrey. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, guys. Hope you are doing great. Now, mean the 5 minutes are past, so I think we can start now. And I hope you guys are doing well. Me, I'm doing great. I'm thanking God. So without further ado, I will first introduce myself and leave our guest start. Let our guest start to introduce himself too. So I'm Washil Buraima, pronounced Wasil Buraima. I'm a software developer and open source advocate. So I'm the lead of Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Togo. And today I will be the moderator of this session. So our guest star, you have the floor. First of all, thank you for coming in our community. Thank you for willing to share with us the tips to get into Google Summer of Code. Thank you. I appreciate it, and all our community will appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi. All right. So
Yeah.
can you is my voice audible?
Yeah, your voice
Yeah.
is definitely audible.
All right.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Give me a minute to just share my screen. Entire screen. So I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is basically about Google Summer of Code, right? And just permit me to wait, excuse me. Can you what part of the screen can you see my screen? Is it divided?
Yes,
No,
I'm seeing the slides.
You can see only the
And
slide, right?
yeah,
yes.
on the payment slide.
Okay, can you see this? There's this other tab. There's this extra tab. I don't know if you, but you can.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see the
we
whole
have
screen.
we
I
have
can see
the
the whole
screen
screen.
and we have the extra tab as well.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. I was saying we have
Okay.
your presentation and the extra tab as well.
Oh, okay. Let me just think I don't like this one. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, now it's better, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think this is fair.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much. My name is Chidi. I am a software engineer, and today we're going to be talking about Google Summer of Code, right? So basically, the whole thing about the Google Summer of Code is to encourage open source and encourage open source participation and bring people to collaborate on projects, work on projects, and get people excited about what is going on there in the open source field. You are aware of what people are actually building, right? So you know that in the software industry, in the software field, there are a lot of applications that are built with open source, softwares, open source projects. Like a lot of applications out there built on open source. For example, the server that powers most of the cloud hostings, the cloud are all built on. Most of them rely.
Hello. Someone can hear.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, please. when I'm not audible, just let me know, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, when
Okay.
I'm
Good.
not audible,
Sure.
let me know. So I will need like, if I say something, I need the response, like, so that I can know that people are hearing me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you so much, because I'm presenting, so I may not be able to see my screen. I may not be able to see you guys. So all right. So today we're going to talk about Google Summer of Code. So the question is, what is Google Summer of Code? That's first of all. But before that, I want you to kind of know a bit about me. Pretty much is simple, like everyone here. My name is Chidiebere Chukwudi, so you can call me Chidi for short, right? And I am a software engineer, and somebody who is interested in software engineering and open source, open source applications and open source projects. The other things are like pretty much the hobbies and the other interests. I like playing piano and FIFA, the mobile FIFA especially. Then about my GitHub, this is just my GitHub handle, is Jovial Core, right? If you type Jovial Core on any search on the search engine, Google or anyone, my GitHub is supposed to appear first, but other social media. So it's more like my AKA, or my, more like my, I don't know how to call it, but it's just out there, more like my username for most of my accounts, right? So Jovial Core, and also you can reach me out on Twitter as Jovial_Core, right? So today we are going to talk about Google Summer of Code, right? So the question is, what is Google Summer of Code? So Google Summer of Code is a program organized by Google to, bring people to collaborate and work on open source projects. Now, the question is, what is open source, right? Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can
All
hear
right.
you definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
early.
all right. Okay, so you can still see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yes, right. We can
Yeah,
see it.
so open source is more like, so what is open source? So open source, the definition of open source is simple. The web, mobile, or desktop projects where the source code is made open to the public for contribution, right? For contribution, use, and to distribute is said to be an open source project. So simply what this means is that, people build applications. Let's say somebody built something like Twitter, built a Twitter, something like Twitter, and the person puts it out there, releases the source code. So you can look at the code by yourself. You can see how the project was built. You have a, first-hand feel of what was used to build that project. You can look at, there is a proper documentation. There is a, you can just, once you have the source code, at your own, in your own laptop, or you have access to the source code, is easier for you to add to it. You can improve on it. Let's say it's a Twitter, open source project, and you say, okay, you want to remove the edit feature on Twitter. So since it's an open source project, what you do is you can just simply, since you have the source code, you can add to it, right? You can clone the project, look at the, code there, add the feature for editing, right? So people can edit their tweets. So because it's available for your use and is accessible to you, it is referred to as an open source project, right? So it's basically any web application, mobile or desktop projects, like more like computer softwares, that, where the source code is made available and open to the public, that the public, you, me, your friends at your, GDG, and everybody can just work on that project. Is referred to as an open source project. I don't know if you got that. Hello? Did you get
Yes.
that?
Yes.
All right.
Hello. Yes.
All right.
Good.
Thanks. So the next thing is, what is Google Summer of Code, right? What is Google Summer of Code? Which is what we are here to say here. Google Summer of Code tips and text. So what is Google Summer of Code? So Google Summer of Code is a paid remote open source program that provides people with the opportunity to contribute to open source projects with guidance of mentors from the open source organizations. So now I used Twitter as an example, right? Twitter becomes open to the public. The software, that is the web application of Twitter, becomes open to the public, right? That's an example. Now, then Google Summer of Code is more like a program. It's like a body, open source body of Google themselves, where they kind of, provide people, they bring people, to contribute to open source projects. So whether it's open source web application or open source mobile applications or open source computer softwares or open source, different kind of softwares, right? So the Google Summer of Code is like a program that bring people to be able to contribute to these softwares, to these programs, right? Right. So it's a body, or it's an open source body by Google, where they bring people, they bring students, they bring newbies to open source, right? They bring them, and they get them to register, and they select organizations, open source organizations that they can contribute to, right? And those people they'll be provided with mentors. Those organizations, those open source organizations, will provide them with mentors who will be able to kind of guide them and help them help them navigate the open source projects, and also give them projects to work on. So that's basically what Google Summer of Code is. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So now the next thing you want to say is who is eligible. Eligibility means it has to do with who is expected to participate, who can come in, what are the conditions to be part of Google Summer of Code, especially for 2024, right? So what are the conditions to be part of Google Summer of Code? Number one is that you must be over 18 upon registration. So you must be up to 18 years of age, new or beginner contributor to open source. So whether you are a new or a beginner contributor to open source, you are welcome, right? So that's it. And the other one is that you are eligible to work in the country which you reside during the coding. So since it's a remote program, meaning that anybody can do it from any part of the world, right? So you have the right to work, like the country which you are, the country where you'll be contributing from, you have the right to work as a citizen. You have the right to work as a citizen in that country that you are residing, where you stay. And number three is that you're not a resident of a US banned or restricted country. This is supposed to be or restricted country. So this is simply let me change that. This is supposed to be all. So this is simply has to do with some countries are actually banned or embargoed by US. Countries like I think maybe Iraq, Iran, or some of them. So Togo is not one of them, right? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, so Togo is not.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I can
Togo
hear
is
you.
not.
I'm with
Yeah, Togo is not one of them. Yeah, so that means you guys are eligible to apply. Then, as long as you meet other criteria, then you have not participated in GSOC more than 2 times. So GSOC stands for Google Summer of Code more than 2 times. So more than 2 times means that you can only be accepted into Google Summer of Code for 2 times. So you can be accepted the first time. You can also be accepted the second time. And also, I forgot to mention that I was accepted into Google Summer of Code in 2022, right? So that was the time I was accepted. So I have one more slot. Do you understand? So I can't, if I apply again and get it again, I cannot apply. I'm no longer eligible to apply. So I have one more slot, right? So if you get into it this year, you can also apply next year. But if you get into it next year, you only have this. You have exhausted your slots, right? So that's it. Then the next thing I want to talk about is I want to highlight the GSOC process. So when I say GSOC, it stands for Google Summer of Code, right? That's just the acronym for it. Then the next I want to highlight is the GSOC process. So what is the GSOC process? It has to do with the stages at which how the program is meant to go, like the stage at which is meant to, the stages the program has been designed to operate with. So first of all, there is the open source organization stage. So before the projects are announced, before contributors like you and me are brought into the program, there is the open source organization stage. So the organizations that will be participating for the Google Summer of Code, they should be announced first, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the organizations should be announced first. For example, I mentioned Twitter. So I want to use Twitter as an illustration again. Twitter itself is a big organization, it's a big company, so to say. So let's say Twitter is an open source organization. Their code is available for the public, though their code is actually, is their code ever? I think Elon Musk did something the other time, but let's just use an example. And Twitter is an organization, Facebook becomes an organization, for example, an open source organization, and which other company do we know about? A popular company. Can you suggest one for me? Can you suggest one for me, like popular
And
organization?
can we use
Hmm?
LinkedIn or GitHub? LinkedIn or
Okay,
GitHub.
GitHub. I would like LinkedIn. Let's use GitHub, right? So GitHub is also so we have Facebook, we have GitHub, we have Twitter, right? So these are open source organizations, for example. So the open source organization process and stage is where Google Summer of Code, who are the organizers for this program, they'll make it open or make it available for all these organizations to apply. So these organizations, they will apply. They say, okay, we want to be part of the Google Summer of Code organizations in 2024. So Facebook will apply, Twitter will apply, and LinkedIn and GitHub will apply. So when they apply, right? So the team at Google Summer of Code will go through the applications and look at whatever criteria that is designed that they must have passed. So they'll go through them and they will select, right? So open source organization application and selection. Then the next thing is organization and projects announcement. So when these organizations has applied, when they have applied, there's a selection process by the Google Summer of Code team. Then the next thing that will happen is that the organizations and the projects will be announced, right? So when these organizations are announced, so we now have that. So we have Twitter, Facebook, and GitHub with LinkedIn. So let's say 3 organizations were selected by Google Summer of Code and LinkedIn was not selected, right? So do you understand that?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say LinkedIn was not selected. Now we have 3 organizations. So, but ideally, there are more than 3. They can be up to 50. They can be up to 60, 70, or thereabout. I'm just using it as an example, right? So these 3 organizations will have project ideas, right? So let's say we're using Twitter as an example. So Twitter will now say, okay, now that we have been selected, we want contributors that will be applying to our organization, that will be joining our organization within that space of the program. We want them to work on these projects. Let's say Twitter will now say, okay, we want them to work on the edit feature. We want people to be able to edit tweets, right? Then another project idea is that we also want people to be able to post, what should I say? People should be able to delete their tweets. Do you understand? And another project idea should be people should be able to you know, what again should I explain? You know, people should be able to, like, let's say, edit, I don't know, but whatever it is, let's say post longer videos, right? You say what?
I said edit or update their tweets.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes, things like
longer
that, right?
video. I think this is the best feature. Edit,
Yes.
delete, and post longer video.
Yeah. So this is an example, right? That's I like it now that you understand. So this is an example. So, you know, these are project ideas by one organization, which is Twitter. So the same thing will happen for GitHub. The same thing will happen for, you know, LinkedIn. This project. So LinkedIn will come up and say, okay, people that will join, this is the stack we use. We use JavaScript and we use Python. These people will come. Facebook will say, okay, we use React.js and we use Golang. And Twitter will come say, we use Rust and we use JavaScript. So these are the projects we want to work on. GitHub. So things like that. So this is an example of a selected organization and project ideas, right? Now, the next thing is the contributors. The highlight of this process, the contributors. The contributors are you and me, right? So the contributors is, you know, like the both of us, right? As long as you meet this, you know, let me see myself a little. Yeah. So as long as you pass this, as long as you pass, give me a minute, sorry. Yeah, so as long as you pass this the criteria here, right? So now the next thing will be the contributors process, which is you and me. Then the yeah, so the contributors, like, they work on medium-sized projects, right? So the contributors, which is you, to work on medium-sized projects. So the program is designed in a way that there's a medium-sized project and there is a large project. For example, the project idea I gave here, you can see that this organization listed their medium-sized projects, which is 350 hours, and their medium-sized project, which is 175 hours, right? That's like a cumulative, you know, number of time, like hours or duration, that the project is expected to take you within the 12 weeks or an extra, right? And before before the organizations are announced, for example, I made an article, right? Even before organizations were announced, like I said, those organizations, they will apply, and, you know, the open source body on Google Sum of Code will go through the application, you know, and before they will announce them. So before those organizations, sorry. So the contributors registration phase, this is the period between when organizations are announced and when contributors registration starts, right? So organizations has been announced, right? We said that the Google Source Opens team announced, they announced Twitter, they announced LinkedIn, and they announced Facebook. They selected these three organizations, right? Now, there's also the phase between the organizations when they were announced and the contributors registration when it will start. So at the moment, the contributors registration will start in March 18th, like this March, 18th of March 2024 to April 2nd. So between this period, right, organizations has been announced, and, you know, contributors registration has not started yet, right? So between this period, between when the contributors registration will start and the organizations, you know, when it was announced, is like pre-contributors registration phase. So this is where I want you to focus on, because this is the tip. Like we said opportunities and tips talk, right? So the tip section is more like what we want to talk about now. So this is the tip, right? This is where I want to give you a serious tip. So between this period, you don't have to wait till when organizations are announced before when contributions will start, right? Because contribution will start. Let's see Google Sum of Code So at the moment, application for GSOC contributors opens March 18th, 2020, March 18th. But if you go here, you can see that organizations has been announced. So these are the organizations. You can see Fortran, you can see, you can even see Wikimedia, you can see, a lot of organizations, right? So these organizations has been announced yet, but contributors application has not started yet. So this is where the tip, or the tip we are talking about, why we are having this program. This is where it comes in, right? So the idea is that you don't wait till when contributors registration will start before you start getting yourself familiar with the organization. So the tip is that it's advisable to start getting yourself familiar with the organization you intend to apply to even before contributors registration starts, right? So now that the contributors registration has not started, it is advisable that you kind of get yourself, you go through these organizations mentioned here, right? So like if there is that of artificial intelligence, there are artificial intelligence, you can just come here and also type Python. You see organizations that use Python, right? So you go through these organizations and select the ones that appeal to you, go through their idea list, they can view idea list, and there is a breakdown of what they will be doing, how you can join their community and all those stuff. So you don't wait for this, you don't wait for this. This is what I want to tell you. You don't wait for this. You just, now the organization has announced, you can join the organizations, get yourself familiar with them, because those organizations, they will pick or they will select participants based on the kind of contribution, how much they know them. Because if you want to work on a project idea, you need to, first of all, you need to get that project, the organization's code base. You need to set it up, and that can take time. You need to get yourself familiarized, you need to get yourself familiar with it. You need to kind of just get yourself familiar with them, know the mentors know you. You're also working on little projects, you're contributing to their code base, you are fixing minor issues. With that, you are getting yourself familiar, and it helps you that when you want to work on a particular project idea, you will have more things to say, right? So I'll just before I go to the project ideas aspect, so this is just the tip. Please, I hope you got that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. So this is just the tip, and yeah. So now, once contributors has been announced, right? So once you this stage, once application has started, application is open for people, for contributors to start applying, there is a proposal stage. So the proposal stage is this stage. This is the proposal stage. So the proposal stage is where you go to the project ideas, you pick one. For example, somebody can say, I want to pick on this 3D viewer enhancement, or let's use our Twitter example, right? Let's use our Twitter example. So you look at, I want to pick on the project idea, which has to do with editing Twitter tweets, right? You want to edit tweets. So you write proposal about it. You write, it's kind of, you give a detailed information on how you plan to execute that project idea. So you give a detailed information of how you plan to, go about the Twitter editing feature. So you'll be like, okay, this is a Twitter editing feature. This is how I want to do it. This is how I intend to structure the database. This is how I'll go about the code. These are the things I will fix. I will, check for, let me say, Twitter edit feature. What kind of example should I give? So let's say you will have to check. Okay, let's say I'll have to specify that somebody who has posted a tweet that is more than 30 minutes is not eligible to edit. So you kind of break all those things down. The way you build a to-do list in JavaScript or a calculator, you just break it down. So you also add deliverables, milestones and deliverables. So aside breaking the project down, you also put timeline. You say, okay, from so time to so time, I will design the UI, or I will just code the UI for the pop-up modal, for the edit button and all those stuff. You specify timeline, deliverables, and a brief information about you and why you should be selected, right? So that's it. That's that. I hope you got that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks. Now, this is how the project will look like, a proposal project. So the proposal is about, it's just the organization telling you that, please give us a detailed information on how you plan to go about this project idea that you selected. This is part of your application. This is part of your application, contributors application, right? And it starts, start of this year will start March 18th to April 2nd. So this is just a breakdown of how, as an example, because project proposals are peculiar to the organizations themselves. So different organizations have a kind of different proposal structure, but most of them follow this format. So the project idea, title, and profile details. The project idea description in your own words, showcasing how best you understand the project. I feel like I should give you an example of what it looks like. How about that?
Yeah,
Yes, great,
I
great.
think yeah.
I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you for that.
All right,
It
so
looks
just
like
give
you
me a
are
minute.
explaining my mind.
Let me kind of stop sharing so I can bring it out. I hope we still have time. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Try. Give me a minute. No. Give me a minute. GSOC. I'm looking for mine. Okay, I think I found it. Okay. Let me start sharing now. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is okay, not this. So this is how it
Okay.
looks like. So this is how it looks like, right? So this is how the proposal structure looks like. So this was mine in 2022, right? So this is the organization CDLI, Uniform Digital Library Initiative, and this is the project idea I worked on, right? So this is how it looks like. So like I gave you in the illustration, where is this? I hope we still have time. This is supposed to last for 1 hour, right? Wait. Where is it? So this is how it is like. So if you compare, I said project idea, title, and profile details. So this is like idea, title, and the profile details. This is my profile, my name, where my location as of that time, and how the whole project idea looks like. So the constitution, I kind of gave a detailed explanation of what the project I'm working on, right? So the constitution of the system, manage single, individual, and multiple assets, and just my approach, table schemas, kind of how I plan to design the migration schema. That is a quick PHP application, and more like a PHP application, PHP framework, and other stuff. So what else did I say? What else did I say it should look like? Okay, so your solution and approach, your deliverables, sub features, and sub tasks. So here you see, these are like the deliverables. So I specified is a 12-week kind of. It's going to last for 12 weeks. So I kind of, for each week, I kind of mentioned the tasks. I kind of broke down my tasks and then listed them and also specified deliverables, right? And this is week 2, what I intend to do, how I intend to do it, and all those stuff. So these are part of your application process. So you write a proposal for each application, for each project idea, right? Then I kind of highlighted some things about me. If you notice, I said, okay, I did not say that. Your approach, yeah, project idea, showcasing how best you understand the project, right? Okay, yeah. So it's also good that you kind of mention some things about you, why you should be selected, right? So I said I had previous knowledge of MVC, PHP framework, Laravel, knowledge of front-end stack, enthusiastic about whatever. So this is just how it should look like. So I'll just go straight since we have limited time. The next thing is you have been accepted, right? So is there kind of a clap or something? So let's say you have been accepted, your proposal was accepted. So when you apply, there is a period for the Google open source team will go through your application, and the organization you apply to will submit your proposal to the GSOC team. Then the GSOC team will go through it. So selected applicants for this the Google Summer of Code 2024 will be announced May 1, the 1st of May to be announced. However, going forward, you should have an understanding of what to expect. You can see more info about GSOC timeline. So you can see more info about GSOC timeline. Why is this not? So this is like the timeline. Like I said, May 1, they'll announce all the contributors projects, like all the contributors will be announced. And it is also worth noting that you will need to pay attention to your emails, as that will be the major means of communication between Google Summer of Code organizers and you. Sorry, through these emails, you'll be guided properly on each step. And also there's a 3 weeks of community bonding before coding starts properly. So once you have been accepted May 1st, there is a 3 weeks. So they'll give you like 3 weeks to kind of help you, so you can get yourself familiar with the organization and their code base and all those stuff. And also you meet your fellow contributors, right? And also during this period, it's like a bonding period with your mentors and all those stuff. Now, the next thing is I want to talk about is payment. So I hope you know that this is a paid program. I hope you know that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
it's a
don't
paid
know how
program.
much they pay.
Yeah. So it's a paid program. So I'll go into the details of how much they pay. So, but whatever amount I want to tell you, I want you to convert it in your currency, your local currency. I'm going to tell you the amount in dollars. I'm going to convert it in your local currency, right? So payment, yes, you are getting paid, right? So payment is currently through Payoneer, but please check your emails for any updates on the payments method on platform. So there's a Payoneer is more like the payments platform that they used in 2022. I don't know if they will still use the same platform to this 2024, but whatever it is, I know that they'll make it convenient for everybody to be paid. So the Google open source team will provide guidance on the payment process if you are selected. So the stipend is based on the country you currently live in. So there's something called purchasing power. So the money they will pay is based on the country you currently live in. So there's something called purchasing power. So purchasing power is more like, it's how they arrange the payment in. So some countries are paid for a particular project higher, some countries are paid lower because of what's called purchasing power. So if you go through this link, you can see some of them. For example, let me find Togo. Let's find Togo. So Togo, there are about three. So they are about small size projects, medium size, and large size. So for small size projects, somebody in Togo will collect $750. I want you to convert that to your currency. How much is it? How much is $750 in
Okay,
your currency? Says what?
let me check. It's about around 500. So actually, it's 900, like 1,000 though. Yeah.
All right. So
Can you
that's
can you guys?
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So
Okay.
you can do the math yourself. So for a medium sized project, you'll be paid 1.5. For a larger size project, you pay $3,000. So that's pretty much about it. So that's the price. I will send you this slide. You can go through it by yourself. Now for like I said, for a 175-hour project, which is a medium sized project, payment will be divided into two phases, which is So they'll pay you into 2 phases. So the program is supposed to last for 12 weeks if there's any no further extension. So for the first half of the week of the 12 weeks, which is about 6 weeks, they'll pay you $650. Let's say you are supposed to get paid for 1,500. They'll pay you $650, and also after the the first half, the second half, they'll pay you the remaining month, which is $850. Now, that's pretty much about it. And you know that I will know that for every contribution you make, so for every code contribution, there's an evaluation phase. So after the first phase, before they make any payment, your organization will submit your work that you have done, and also you have a kind of a summary of the things you have done, what you have built. You submit that to Google Sum of Code, then will decide if they can pay you or not. And also your organization mentors, the organization you'll be working with, they'll write a kind of a review about your performance for that first week, for that first half, right? And also once contributors who pass each evaluation are paid a stipend for their work. At the conclusion of GSOC, contributors submit the code they have written for their project for everyone to see and use. So when you are done, you submit code for everyone to see and use. Now, the goal of the project, the aim of the project, what is the whole thing about the Google Sum of Code? The tips, the takes, and the opportunities. So it helps. What are the opportunities there? It introduces new contributors to open source software development. So I said open source kind of is one of the domain that is powering the IT world, the ICT world. That's one of open source softwares. You talk about Linux, you talk about cloud hosting services, kind of most of them are powered by open source. You talk about in this era of AI, there are a lot of open source models out there, giving people the privilege to look into how did others build a particular thing, so they kind of look at it because it's available and they continue to work on it or improve it. So help open source projects bring in new excited developers who stay involved in their communities and after the program. Drupal is an open source organization. They have a saying that let them come for the code and stay for the community, right? So you come for the code, but you love the code, you love what they are doing, and you now become part of the community. So you give contributors exposure to real world projects. So you have been building to-do lists, you have been building JavaScript calculator. This is time for you to get involved in real world projects that people are using, and you just get yourself, get your hands dirty, and you have that opportunity to write code that people will use, create more open source code for all to use. Now, okay, how much time do I need to spend on the project? There are 2 projects. There's 175 hours project, like I said, and there's approximately 350 hours. The coding period is 12 weeks. However, with mentor agreement, you can extend the period to a max of 22 weeks. Some folks will spend more time, and others a bit less. So I'm new to open source. Can I participate? Yes, GSOC is open to all newcomers, 18 years and older, as long as you are excited and ready to learn from mentors and have level of experience. So I just want to summarize what the Google Sum of Code is. So open source softwares projects apply to mentor organization. This is like the process, summary of how does GSOC work. Summary of how GSOC was actually, that's a typo. Yeah. So summary of how GSOC works. So there is Google chooses the organization to participate. Contributors, you, me, submit their project proposals to mentor organizations. Mentor organizations choose the contributors they would like to accept. Contributors are paired with a mentor to help them try the project. Coding begins. You should start working on your project. Now there are links, useful links for you to use. There's a guide I wrote about GSOC. I kind of explained it. This is where I kind of spent, most of what I'm saying now, you can see them here. So you can, once you have the slide, once I release the slide, you can also go through this blog article to read about it and just have a more comprehensive detail on what it is. And with that, that's a wrap. So this is more like that's all about it. So I wish you the best. And I want to tell you that you should not be thinking too much about, I'm not the only one in the organization the other people, why not you, right? Why not you? Why not you? So you should give it a shot. You miss 100% of the shot you don't shoot, right? So give it a shot, and I wish you all the best. So I believe I should be able to entertain questions now, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So why not you? Why not me? Why not you? So guys, we'll apply and get selected.
Sorry,
So you know,
yeah, I can hear you now.
okay. We have one question in the chat, but before start responding to the questions, I would like to summarize it in French for our French people. As I said, we still learning English, so
Yeah,
we have
it's fine. It's fine.
some.
It's fine.
So I will take about 5 to 10 minutes to explain it in French. So, salut les gars, j'espère que vous allez bien. Donc, pour la session, on a parlé du Google Summer of Code, qui est en abrégé GSOC. Le GSOC, c'est un programme qui est lancé par Google. Ce n'est pas la première fois, donc ils sont sur leur 20e année. Et le programme consiste à aider et les étudiants et les organisations. Les organisations, le rôle là-bas, Google les aide à pouvoir faire avancer leur projet. Et les étudiants et puis les passionnés aussi du code, Google aussi les aide à avoir de l'expérience professionnelle en travaillant sur des projets réels et être payé pour ça. Donc, il a aussi parlé de certains conseils, genre le roadmap pour pouvoir être sélectionné et le temps où les projets sont lancés. Là, actuellement, les organisations ont été déjà sélectionnées. Il y a déjà la liste des organisations qui ont été déjà publiées sur le site de GSOC. Maintenant, c'est l'application c'est-à-dire la candidature pour les contributeurs qui va s'en suivre, mais ça n'a pas encore commencé. Donc, le conseil qu'il a donné là-dessus, il dit de ne pas attendre la date où les contributions vont commencer avant de commencer à suivre les organisations. Donc, on peut déjà commencer à suivre les organisations, aller prendre connaissance du code de l'organisation, de l'application. Supposons que c'est Chrome qui participe. Donc, avant même qu'on ne commence, avant que le 18 n'arrive, tu dois être en mesure de déjà contacter un mentor, discuter avec lui, déjà être actif avant que ça ne commence. Il a dit aussi beaucoup de trucs. Donc après, il y aura le slide aussi qui va être envoyé. Il y a aussi les liens qui sont envoyés dans le chat. Et c'est payé. Donc c'est pas gratos. Donc, et la paye, ça dépend de ton pays. Par exemple, notre pays, le Togo, la paye, c'est pour les petits projets, ça commence à partir de $750, qui est environ 450
50 000.
Donc 450 000. Et puis il y a 560 frais de retrait. Maintenant, pour les grands projets, ça va à 1000 et quelques dollars. Donc 1000 et quelques dollars. Donc ça, tu peux convertir pour me donner. Je ne suis pas très bon dans les calculs. Donc 1000 et quelques dollars. Et tout ça là aussi, c'est payé par Payoneer. Payoneer, c'est accessible. Donc Payoneer, pour créer un compte là-bas, je peux dire que c'est le plus simple pour créer un compte là-bas. Il faut avoir une carte nationale d'identité. Et puis, je crois que c'est ça. Hein. Et puis, c'est un truc pour pouvoir présenter. Et c'est fini. Donc, c'est très accessible. Ils feront tout pour que vous...
Sinon, ça touche les millions.
Ouais, ça touche les millions. Et la paye là, qu'on va vous donner, ça, c'est Google qui vous donne. Ce n'est pas la fin. Si vous, dans l'organisation, vous avez bien travaillé et que vous avez bien travaillé, votre code va être public. Donc, à la fin, non seulement votre CV va être garni, en plus, vous êtes fait remarquer par la communauté et le mentor même peut vous prendre pour le projet. On peut vous embaucher directement là-bas, directement pour que vous puissiez continuer. Et vous pouvez le mettre sur votre CV et ça continue. Et il y a quelque chose que j'ai failli oublier. Il a dit que le Google Summer of Code, on ne participe que 2 fois dans sa vie. Donc, premièrement, si tu postules, si tu es sélectionné une fois, ça veut dire que tu as la chance d'être sélectionné une deuxième fois. Quand tu es sélectionné une deuxième fois, c'est fini. Donc, tu as épuisé ton stock, quoi. Ton crédit est fini. Par exemple, pour lui, en 2022, il a participé, il a été sélectionné. Si par exemple cette année, il participe et qu'il est sélectionné, ça veut dire que c'est fini, quoi. Donc, c'est un peu ça. Maintenant, Jeffrey, j'espère que j'ai tout dit. J'espère que j'ai tout dit.
Ouais,
Si j'ai
c'est
pas
tout.
dit-
Je pense que c'est tout. S'il y a des questions, ils
Ok.
peuvent toujours poser les questions.
Ok.
Ouais.
On va envoyer les slides aussi dans le groupe et puis il y aura la rediffusion aussi, quelque chose comme ça. Donc, c'est juste un résumé de façon ramassée. Okay, thank
Ouais.
you, the jovial call. So now I think we can. I've finished with the summary French, so we can start with the question. So on.
All right. So thanks for that summary.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's get the questions. Okay, can I read the one here?
Okay. Okay.
Says what mean projects in GSOC? Is it like create new things or what? Please, I want to have an idea of how could be working on projects. Okay. So what the meaning of projects? You don't create new things, right? So, like I said, the organizations will have a list of tasks, sit as tasks, right? Let's say you're asked to build a calculator, you're asked to build a to-do list. So see it as list of tasks that you have to do. So it's not like you are creating a new project. So you have they have an idea, like so they have an app, they have their own application, they have their own project. So they have features or they have things that they want to, as I said, I use Twitter as an example. So Twitter wants to add an edit feature. So they edit feature project, right? So edit feature project is like the project that Twitter themselves will list. They will list it in the organization's idea list as a project that they want to, they want people to work on. I hope I was able to answer that.
Wisdom. Hello, you can like on your mic and just find the call.
So to that, wisdom is like you have a project. Let's take the example of the Apache Software Foundation, and we have a project ongoing. So maybe sometimes they will like write some feature they would like to add to the project. So you can take that feature, a specific feature, and work on it, or you can come with new idea and work on the new idea to add something to improve the project of the organization. So that is it. Like you come and you work on something specific, or you come with a new idea and you send your proposal. We can hear you if you are talking actually.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking. That's fine.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Jeffrey, we're not talking about with you. Wisdom is asking in the chat if we can hear him. Wisdom, we cannot hear you. I don't know. You have problem with your mic. Okay, mute. Okay, we are not mute. Okay, guys, another question. Okay, please, can you give, I don't know, a big clap, a big thumbs up to our guest star? Please. Hello, you can use the emoji. Okay. Kojo. Hello, okay, Kojo, you can. Hello? Hello, Kojo. Jeffrey, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was talking,
I can
but
hear
my
you.
mic was yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
I do have
That's
some
network.
question to our guest speaker. Actually, if anyone asking question. So, Chide, can you like talk about your experience and some challenging you face while you are contributing to the project in the GSOC program,
all right.
or as well like some common program that students are facing, sometimes contributing to open source project like that.
All right. So first of all, start with my own challenge. So one of the challenges I had was, I think the major thing is time, right? Time. So
Yeah.
sometimes you might
Mm,
might be busy that period, or you might, not have enough time. So the major thing is
yeah.
you need to have proper time management, because kind of that's where I was kind of struggling with. You need to have proper time management, because this is a one-time opportunity, most of the time. So you need to have proper time management. So you need to have that heart. You need to be able to manage your time. You have to, deliver projects when you should, right? And also work on it. So that's number one. And number two is that, I don't know, most of Africa, we have this power, issue. So that's kind of one of that's like a general, a common thing, right? So the whole thing, the whole thing about power and all those stuff. So kind of that was, that may contribute. So the thing is that, let's say you just try as much as possible to get, at least to get your first payment. You can use that to, buy a laptop that lasts longer, or the battery with a, you know longer battery, span. And also you can, kind of augment, or make up for the situation, right? So you can, let's say buy an inverter or something. So that's one of kind of the more like, I know it's more like a general challenge. And also the other challenge is, I think I did not have pretty much challenge as regarding the code, because I had mentors who were willing to explain things to me. And I had other, other contributors too, that I can communicate to and ask them how they were able to do so and so, and I also get feedback in time. And that's pretty much about it for me. So what I think that other people or Africans may face is the whole thing about light, electricity, power supply, and also maybe communication, right? So you want to, you want to hear them well. You want to be able to, sometimes you'll be working with people, foreigners, people are, in US and also in UK,
In the US,
different
yeah.
time zones. So you want to be, their, the, what is it called, their intonation, maybe different. So you want to hear it,
Accents, yeah.
yeah, the accent. So now when they are saying code, you are thinking is the code, like to feel feverish, that kind of a thing. So so that may be one of the challenges, but it's all good. First time, second time, third time, you're used to it, right? So you should always ask questions. Anything you don't hear, anything you don't understand, ask questions. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. Before coming to the mentor side and communication side, like when you are talking about time management, that's a huge problem to everyone. Me personally, I don't know about others, but the time management is something that we need to use. Like like
Yeah.
we need to do like we need to improve our time management and
Yes.
set
Yes.
something in our calendar to stick on
Yeah.
that. So that's a pretty much example of challenging time management. So I think that is a very important thing. So also on the communication with the mentor, and like how do you manage, or how mentor are supporting students in the GSOC program? Like we know about the communication, but like how do you communicate effectively with the mentor, and you have what you need, you have the explanation you need, and move on the work you want to do. Sorry.
Yeah. So in times when it has to do with communication, right? So the thing is, like I said, when you don't hear anything, when you don't understand anything, ask questions, right? So, but also it also helps that sometimes they might be talking about something. You can just like you can go ahead of them. Let's say they want to explain how to install the project. You can go ahead of them, kind of read about it first, right? So you have 60% idea of what they will be saying. So when they are talking about it, you will flow, right? So you kind of go ahead of them, read more on things about them before you ask. Sometimes you can just read the documentation before you ask. Sometimes you make sure that you have read any available resource before you ask questions, right? Also, but if it's urgent, you can always ask questions. But the thing is, the first time may be difficult, the second time may be difficult, but third, fourth, fifth time, you see, you start flowing, right? So it's just like the way we communicate. When somebody from a different place comes in, it takes you time to understand. But so that's why there is a pre-coding phase. That's why there is a bonding phase. So that phase where you just get to meet the mentors and all those stuff. So that's one of the ways to hack it.
Yeah, that is very interesting. You need to make some effort and learn. Maybe probably some question you are asking, you already have some answers in the documentation or the guidelines. So yeah, make sure to read everything like that before asking some question. So to finish, like do you have some success story about the GSOC when you are contributed to the GSOC, or maybe you did something very great and you are so proud about that to share and we share with us. It can be like this. Yeah.
Yeah, let me first of all answer this question. It says, did I need an experience as a software developer before I contribute? So yeah, so I would say you need like some experience, right? Because experience will help you, even if it's 1 year experience or 6 months or, but depending, I don't know, some of us are very fast learners, right? Some of us are fast learners, some of us can, so, but you need some experience because it's not the time to start, doing HTML, CSS. Some may be a little bit advanced, and also you have people who will be contributing, who will be vying for that, that project, right? People who wants to get the project idea, who also want to be selected. So I think you need some experience, but that should not, stop you from attempting. So attempt, right? Attempt. You may be lucky, maybe not. So it's more like in the past, it used to be for students, and they take students as people who are not too, experienced in programming. So, that's in the past. So it was later they now made it available to everybody, right? But in the past, it was only meant for students. So that's what I'm trying to say. So you need some experience, but that should not stop you from attempting, right? Now, let me talk about the success story aspect. So the success story I have is, I have my code there's a part of my code on the Cuneiform digital library. So the success, one of the exciting moments is that you see that, there's this thing you unlock, right? That where you see that you are able to contribute to an existing project. So and your code was merged. So if you see that your pull request was merged, it's exciting, right? There's this wow. So I have a link.
Many of people will use my work.
So
exactly.
that's more like the excitement. That's more of it. So yeah, that's one of it. Yeah, that's more of it.
Yes, that's very, very nice. Thank you so much, Ide. It was so glad to talk to you.
You're welcome.
So thank you, Sophia. I was trying to pronounce your name, your name.
So Chidi is a good.
I spent like 1 week to pronounce it. That's why I prefer to use jovial.
Yeah, I got. So like Chidi is like I like Chidiebere. So Chidi is more
Chidiebere.
like, Chidi is more like a short Short
Igbe,
form
eh,
for it.
Igbo. I'm Ekene. That is my Igbo name, Ekene.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
thank you for sharing. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I appreciate it.
inspiring. Thank you for
I
everything.
appreciate it.
Before reach, I don't know. Before contact you, have contact a lot of people, but they didn't agree, like accept to
Yeah, that's
come
fine.
in the community to share with us. But I've contact you the first time, and like you agree, come to share with us, even the time, even your. I know that you are not like available. You are a couple of you have a lot of things to do, but you make time to come and share with
Yeah,
us. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing, and I hope we will do a lot of things together. We will do amazing things together.
sure.
And guys, GSOC is for us. We will
Please,
try
please,
and
please
we will
go
do
for
our
it,
best.
right? See, let
Yeah,
me
we
tell
will do
you,
our best and get selected.
please go for it, right? Okay, I not even mentioned there are chances that an organization may retain you. So the first time I heard about it was in 2018 by someone, Samson Goodies, more like a popular guy in the open source. So that was how, and I think he was retained by Sugar Labs. There's this, I think he was retained by Sugar Labs or something. So chances that the organization will retain you. So if you do, they'll be like, okay, because some organizations don't have the financial capability to continue paying you like once the project is done, but some do, right? Chances are there they will retain you.
Yeah.
So so go for it. Like,
Guys,
you know that when you come, you'll be seeing names, like you'll be seeing people's. So don't look at anybody's face. Just apply this tip, contribute to the project. Now, do your best, and and just go for it. Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
say I have one of my my favorite phrase or sentence is open source is something you can do to get more experience without paid, without
Yeah.
presenting your CV or something like that. Just go and show people what you can do and apply it. Send your pull request, and that pull request will be matched, and will be happy to have your pull
Exactly.
request match and can celebrate it. Guys, if you don't have a question, we can end the call. And I think we have something in the chat. Let me open the chat. Okay, that's nice.
I don't think
Thank
so.
you. Thank you, Chidiebere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chidiebere. Okay.
So, bye, guys.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Great
Okay.
Nigeria.
So this was recorded. So if you have the recording file, okay. So let me give a link to the let me drop the link to the slide. I hope
Okay.
I make it available for everybody. Don't worry. Let me
Yeah,
make it available for.
yeah,
Yeah. Let me.
the session is recorded, so I can share
Yeah.
it.
So let me also send you this link so they
Okay.
can copy it.